Good morning, guys. It's the 28th of April. I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group. I'm just going to run through again what we're looking for in the markets for today. So start with euro dollar. So overnight, obviously, we had the FOMC statement last night. Yellen wasn't as hawkish as the markets were hoping for. If I just read you what she said, equivalently, she's taken the June rate hike off the table. The Fed acknowledged slower growth, removed reference to higher inflation, and maintained an accommodative stance. So equivalently, the markets was hoping that it was going to be more hawkish, potentially see a rate hike in June. It wasn't, so you just had this whip around in the dollar. Euro kind of basically traded higher, traded lower, and then we're trading back exactly where we were leading into it. So just an indecision day for the dollar for me yesterday. There was nothing much to take from that speech. So where do we think that the euro is going to go for today now? So let's have a look. So I was favouring potentially that short side because we were up at good level of resistance, but now it looks like we could potentially grind higher, and this grind's going to continue until we break lower, until we make that lower high and go lower. So for me, you've got to continue to play this long side whilst we are making these high highs and high lows. So this is the kind of grind we're on at the moment. That was the whip from yesterday. On the daily, it's just an indecision reaction from the highs of 113.50 odd, but that was only off Yellen. So for me, I think this probably could have another crack at the highs. If not, we turn over, we take that low out, then potentially we're looking for the short side. So in terms of the fibs, if we just play it like a normal, as we probably should do, play the fibs, we are looking for the short side, and that's what I'm going to probably be favouring the play in terms of which direction I'm going to be looking at. So if you have this trend line in at the moment, just waiting for that first lower high to be made, and then potentially we see euro trade lower. But it's very, very whippy in the moment in the euro, and I don't really like it as a chart anyway. So I'm probably going to be staying away for euro until the picture's a little bit clearer for me in that one. Cable got back up to its highs of 146.30. We had that as a really good level. It's finally completed the 38 on the week as well, which is really interesting. And now we have hit the D. So if this is a D in cable and we don't go through the highs today, then potentially we see a pullback now back down to 143.80 is the 38. So maybe we see that pullback happen in cable now. It certainly didn't like the highs yesterday, and we reacted quite strongly off the lows, but that was just a whip around the FOMC statement. So I think this could continue on down today. You had that pullback. If you count that is a completion there, that's going to ruin it because of the FOMC. So if that's a completion, you get your new AB, so literally hit the D to the pip, and now we're back towards the 786. So we're targeting the 127, so that's down at 144.40. I think this gets a little bit lower. The high probability trade is that we get down to 144. So let's see whether that happens, and if that does, it should be quite a nice mover. So let's just wait to see whether we get that first lower high. So what I'm going to probably look to do, so if we just ignore that Yellen spike, yes, we could have this first sign of this trend coming off now. So I'm guessing in a trend line's been broken. You could just be looking for maybe a rally into a good position to sell an initial and then sell it down. So that's what I'm going to be looking for today. Is there any moving averages that are coming over? Let's see if there's any good moving averages that support what we're saying. Okay, so this 21 held really nicely on the way up. We're at it now, just retesting it on the other side. So this could be the first initial position for a short side. I'm going to put a few trend lines in and just want to see them break. What you're probably going to have is this inner trend line. It looks like it's probably going to be broken. So if we just extend this one out. Let's see if that initial one's broken, because if it is, okay, so that's the first break then, and then you can see this trade down to the D. So maybe take an initial one down to 200 moving average, something like this. This moving average holding nicely as well, so maybe see a break of that. So just get you which one that is. But as I said, my target probably on the short side is down towards 144, so that's 105. So have a look at that one as well, guys. It's quite an interesting one, but we potentially see cable trade lower. So dollar yen, another interesting one. Just an hour ago, well, 30 minutes ago, the Bank of Japan came out with their statement, and equivalently they've said that they're going to stand put on their monetary policy. So they're not going to do further easing. So basically, just reversed all of the expectations that it had previously done, and we're back exactly where we were. So if we just load this hourly chart, as you can see, it's just kind of reversed everything that it kind of said, because when they suggested they were going to do more easing, here it goes, and then bang, straight back down again. So dollar yen is back down now at 108, well, just under 109 now. So the next level down for me here is 108.35, and then it bottomed out last time. It got to a low down there of 107.60 sort of area. And I think good support's found. It's just under the figure, so that's what I'm going to be looking for in dollar yen. This is overplayed now for me. I can't be looking for the short side, certainly not yet. So I'm just going to wait for a pullback, and then maybe we go again. So maybe a pullback into 109.40, and then we see this go again. So let's wait to see what happens in that one, and that's what I'm going to be looking for the dollar yen. So there's nothing much to play in that one, just because of that overextended move that's happened already this morning. Dollar CAD, what does that look like on the day? Well, dollar CAD on the daily, it was an interesting one yesterday because it looked like it broke the lows and then it just held. So the weekly's still looking very bearish, and if that's the weekly close, then it will certainly be bearish. But it needs to have another crack at these lows. That was a horrendous spike through yesterday, so you got that real big move down. But for me, it needs to go through the lows. So if we manage to clear 125.70 quite significantly, then I think you see dollar CAD trade lower. Excuse me. So as you can see, had this horrendous rejection. All it was actually still, it was just a retest of this counter trend line, spike through for Yellen, and now we potentially could see this roll over now. And if you do get a close below, we are right bang at the bottom. If you do get a close sort of below 125.70, I think then this does roll over and you get that fast move. So that's what I'm going to probably look for. Maybe a dollar CAD fast move lower in that pair. And therefore my target's going to be, my first target remains 124.20. I think that's a really good level, and then even lower than that, we got that lines up perfectly. So yeah, 124.20 I'd say is a really good level for that one lower, and you could probably squeeze a few hundred pips out of that if that rolls over today. Aussie rejected from the lows and held on that moving average on the day, really interestingly. So we closed back above. I've got a custom moving average on the day as the, let me tell you what the input is. It's 36 moving average on the day, so that's been holding really nicely in the Oz. We still are in an uptrend. All the EMAs are catching up now, so this could be potentially, maybe I'm looking for now a potential reversal in the Oz, so maybe this pullback is over. So all I'm going to do is have this trend line in. I'll make sure it's proper before I start to look for the trades, but certainly if we're down at a good level down here, I think this is probably overdone. I mean, I know they went negative CPI, but for me, that this is still a nice trending upwards, except for the rejection on the weekly. I still like this higher, so I'm going to wait for this one, see what happens. If I manage to get a good price, maybe down this trend line or maybe down towards the next level down, I'll be looking for a buy in Aussie. But apart from that, it still looks like it probably wants to pull back and go higher again. So this could just be off the back of this CPI print, and then potentially see Aussie rally once more. So the Kiwi's kind of still, is this at the neckline? Okay, so the right shoulder hasn't been broken yet, so that's interesting. So this idea of head and shoulders that we have on the Kiwi at the top is still intact. If it doesn't get any higher than 69.50, we're still that in play. This is still a retest of that trend line. So if you do get a high, you could equivalently get a double top here. And if it is a double top, and you now go close back through 68.90, you get that close, and I think that's quite an easy trade to the downside. Has the A been taken out? Yeah, the A might have been taken out as well. So a close back through this trend line is obviously pretty bullish, but for me, I still think the short side gets taken, and you could still see this trade lower. So let's wait for that one. I think Kiwi could be potentially a good sell, especially if you get a close through 90 as an initial one, and then again a close through 30 truly opens up the bottom side. Okay, guys, I hope that's been useful. I won't be here tomorrow. We're moving offices. We're moving from our Moorgate-based offices just to another location in the city, so I should be back on Tuesday if all's up and running. I hope that's been useful. Please leave any comments below. Click subscribe to never miss a video again, and happy trading, and I'll see you on Tuesday.